Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So with the start of a new NBA season comes new NBA stories and rumors and speculations and just drama really around the league. I will say, like, the NBA, it's kind of like the sports version of reality TV. Like, you get some real things going on, right? And one of those real stories, one of the big things that are being talked about today is the T-Wolves, a team that we've all been really excited to see how they can do this upcoming season, especially with the newest addition of Rudy Gobert, the superstar potential of Anthony Edwards, and just really last season, the run that they made, and just like the excitement that was brought to that franchise for the first time in a very long time. And yeah, they're talking about D'Lo. D'Lo right now has been reported to not be offered a contract extension by the T-Wolves. And you might be thinking, yo, like, give the man his money, right? Like, he's a former all-star. I think they're in a circumstance where you look at really the postseason last year, and D'Lo was a bit underwhelming. His postseason stats was not as good as his regular season stats. The efficiency wasn't quite there. He's a fine point guard. I think when he was drafted by the Lakers, a lot of people thought he was going to become like maybe like a all-star, superstar caliber type of player. And while he did make the all-star team, I don't think one all-star season really equates to an all-star player. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes a few seasons of being that consistently, right, before you're really labeled as an all-star player in the league. So I think with that being said, they're cool just kind of staying by for right now, because what the T-Wolves can do is they can start the season and see how things go. See if D'Lo is the perfect fit with this new Cat and Rudy Gobert type of duo. See, you know, how Anthony Edwards and his progression really affects D'Lo in the backcourt and everything. And if he's somebody they want to keep around, because what they can do is they could, for one, could trade him at the trade deadline and, you know, maybe get a 3 or 4 already signed, established type of guard player that maybe fits a little bit better. Maybe like, I don't know, like a Terry Rozier or somebody from the Charlotte Hornets. Or they very well could trade him just for any sort of maybe draft pick. Maybe they trade him to a team that's looking for that type of guard, and maybe they think they're a D'Lo away from, you know, making that next step as a tier as an NBA franchise. That's one direction to look at it. Or really, you could just play out the season with the risk of kind of ticking off D'Lo to an extent, because I'm sure he does want that extension. He wants the security. You know, players can get injured, things happen. Like, you want that financial security, right? Now, if you wait the entire season and the T-Wolves, maybe they're mediocre, or maybe they're just like, maybe they're a better team, but D'Lo's like, well, you all didn't win the championship. I'm not going to stick around here. Like, I'm going to go somewhere else. Then all of a sudden you lose them for nothing. Not to mention, too, the T-Wolves don't exactly have the deepest guard depth in the NBA. So what I want to do here is I kind of want to like play out that scenario. Let's go ahead and hop over to NBA 2K23. If you are still watching the video at this point, I do kindly ask for you to drop that like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. As every season, man, I love talking about the NBA and everything like that. And just like, you know, your support on these types of videos means the world to me. So thank you guys so much for that. So we are going to start off the regular season with just the regular team, man. And this is how I'm thinking it kind of goes down. For the starting five, we got D'Angelo Russell. Quick overview of his stats. Last season, 18 points, 7 assists per game, about 2-3 turnovers. Like I said, not the most efficient offensive player, which I will say, when the ball is going to be in the hands of the likes of Anthony Edwards, you want a guy that's going to be able to like catch and shoot from the 3-point line and knock down those shots. I kind of equate it maybe similarly to a Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green type of backcourt, where sometimes D'Lo is going to be on ball, sometimes be off ball, vice versa with Anthony Edwards, kind of like how Kevin Porter and Jalen Green can be at times, right, man? So it's very important to be efficient when you are in that type of dual ball handling position. I don't think I can show his playoff stats here, but yeah, in the playoffs last season, like, he was a little bit worse overall, not to like a great extent, but I mean, the efficiency wasn't as good. I think the 3-point shot might have been up a little bit, but he was averaging like maybe like 13 points a game in the playoffs. Pretty underwhelming, right? Pretty underwhelming, where you're like, is this the guy first? We don't really know. You got Ant-Man at the 2, Jaden McDaniels, who has most improved candidate, player of the year type of thing going on for him. Hopefully, I guess it's the way that the NBA wants to view that award. Last year, John Morant got it. I think Jordan Poole should have. You got Cat at the 4, Rudy Gobert at the 5, bench unit. You got Kyle Anderson, Jalen Noel, Naz Reid, and Jordan right here, who is the backup point guard. Last season for him, 4 points, 3 assists per game. Keep in mind, this team also had Patrick Beverley, so you can kind of like stagnate the minutes of guys like D'Lo, Ant-Man, and also Patrick Beverley when that was the case. So yeah, they're a little weak at that position this season, no doubt about it. I put Ant-Man as a secondary point guard too, just kind of like, I want this guy also handling the rock at times. I think he's got, you know, 7 to 8 assists per game type of potential if he really locks into the playmaking aspect, especially with Cat roaming on the arc now. So what we're going to do is I am going to simulate to the NBA trade deadline, because I think at that point you would really have a good sample size if they would trade D'Lo or not. So let's do that and see what this team's looking like. Okay, so we are 2 days away from the trade deadline. Currently a record of 32-24. Honestly, not really all that bad. For the sake of the video, we are going to make a trade just because it's more fun that way. But honestly, that's not a bad record, I would say. That does put them roughly in the, let's go to the NBA standings, third. So that's really good. You know, the Pelicans and Dallas Mavericks absolutely taken over. Let's go to the player stats on the season real quick and just kind of see how D'Lo is playing up to this point, because I guess the team could still be good, but D'Lo could still be playing like garbage or something. 18 points, 10 assists is actually pretty damn good, man. I'm actually pretty happy for D'Lo putting up those numbers. But with that being said, we are trading your bitch ass because it's the title of the video, my guy. So yes, okay. So let's go to the trade finder, just kind of see who is available in this case. I would do a trade of pretty much just D'Lo, right? The expiring contract of him, and seeing what's offered up here. So we are going to have 25 trade offers. Tobias Harris does not make sense. Chris Middleton, no. Vooch, no. I mean, it's got to be a point guard, right? Which is the thing here. You're looking at a team that's looking for either an expiring contract or a point guard type of swap, because that's really the only thing we kind of go with here. See, like, this trade's interesting, I guess. I don't really think D'Lo fits on the Memphis Grizzlies, though, but getting, like, a backup center in Steven Adams, I guess. Although I like Naz Reid a lot. What else we got going here, man? Gordon Hayward, Mike Conley, Jared Vanderbilt. So you could bring Jared back to the team here, who was just, like, a really good defensive type of player. You get Mike Conley also on the expiring contract on the season, dropping 14-7. Maybe a little bit more reliable. You kind of know what you're going to get out of Mike Conley, you know, in the postseason and everything. So just an idea right there. Here you got De'Aaron Fox. So I think really for this type of blockbuster trade to happen, it would have to mean that the Kings, you know, once again, just are not living up to their season expectations, you know, what they want the team to be. Maybe they want to embrace Davion Mitchell. You do maybe a double backcourt type of combo guard thing with D'Lo and Davion, although they got Malik Monk on the team too and everything. But maybe simply they just want to get out of De'Aaron Fox's contract and focus on the next offseason, right? Maybe they tank the rest of the season, go for Victor Wembanyama, you know, things along those lines. So I could see maybe where that would be kind of interesting to do. Derrick Rose, Mitchell Robinson, don't really see that happening. Russell Westbrook for D'Lo. If the Lakers were also struggling, which I imagine they would be, maybe a little swap like this would make sense. But, I like Markelle Fultz. I like him on the team, to be honest. That'd be kind of interesting. Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith, you get maybe the Jalen Brunson replacement. I think this is a pretty realistic trade right here, man, because Dorian Finney, especially if he can play some small forward too, which I think he can. Power forward, small forward. I think he would be a good counter player to Jaden McDaniels, who I think is more offensive based and everything, where Dorian can kind of be the jack of all trades. Like, we need more of that switchblade out there doing, you know, just multiple things on the court. So I like the idea of him. Ben Simmons doesn't really make too much sense with Rudy Gobert being on the team. Jamal Murray, the Nuggets are looking for a switch up too. That would actually be kind of interesting. I would not be against this trade at all either, man. 19.6 assists. You get that more offensive-oriented player that can play off Ant-Man. I like that a lot too. What's his contract? Yeah, I could maybe see in this case where it's just like the Denver Nuggets also, like Jamal Murray, maybe they don't like their future with him. So like, once again, you know, we'll get an expiring contract in D'Lo who will be like just good for this season and maybe even for the long term. So Fred VanVleet, if the Raptors want to get maybe a little bit younger, I suppose. I definitely don't hate that trade either. But yeah, a lot of good offer up here. I will say out of all of them, the one that I probably want to do the most, and I'm just doing that based simply off of like maybe this is realistic, would have to be either the Mavericks trade. I like the Nuggets trade too, man, but I don't know if that one's as realistic. It depends how Jamal Murray plays. This trade makes sense. I don't know if it makes them a better team, though. Because, yeah, Dinwiddie's not a great three-point shooter either, so it's like you're still going to get like the same offensive efficiency with him. Let's have fun with him, man. Let's do the trade. Let's get De'Aaron Fox. Let's get De'Aaron Fox. Say the Kings are in a bad situation. They're going full-on rebuild again. Build around Keegan Murray. Trying to get Victor. That will be fun. That will be fun to see. Although, once again, now, De'Aaron Fox also not the greatest three-point shooter there, man. But don't matter. 36%. Scores in other ways. I like it for the backcourt. Taurean Prince, you are not starting over McDaniels. I'm sorry, that is just not happening for my basketball team here. But outside of that, looking pretty good. Noel, what's he listed at? Shooting guard, point guard. Okay, we'll give him a little backup point guard minutes there. No, we'll give those to Jordan down here, man. There we go. Michael Jordan, Mick. Okay, let's looking pretty good. Let's simulate the rest of this NBA season and see what happens. Okay, so the T-Wolves ended with a record of 46-35. One more game here against the Pelicans. Simulate through date and finish with a W on the season. Luka MVP, Jabari Smith rookie there, Ben Simmons 6-man, And there is the rest of the awards, All-NBA first, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third, looking like that. But yeah, we are 4th seed in the Western Conference. I think those are realistic expectations for the T-Wolves in general. Let's go to the player stats on the season, though, and kind of see how D'Lo did since joining this team over here. So D'Angelo Russell, he ended up, yeah, let's see how he actually did. Let's go to the split stats. We will do since the All-Star break. That's roughly when he joined the team. So he was up to 22 points, about 7 assists per game. Shot pretty poorly from the arc and everything, but overall, like, still really good numbers, I guess. So maybe that's okay with having Cat McDaniels and what did Ant-Man do? Was he shooting pretty good this season? 36%. Okay, so yeah, there's enough stretching, stretch bigs and shooters on the floor and everything where I think this would work out completely fine. But yeah, we got 3 guys averaging 20 points per game. Like, definitely can't complain about that. Gobert out, 14 and 13 for him. I'm happy with it, man. I'm happy with it. So here we go. Simulate playing first round Golden State Warriors. See how this goes, and can we... Oh, I'm in a 7-game series, man. The Warriors just blow a 3-1? What year is this? We got a big 26-5-7 game from De'Aaron Fox, so don't love the 5 turnovers, but hey, still less to the W. So Taurean Prince dropping 24, looking like Tayshaun Prince. Maybe not quite. Okay. Pelicans up next. Not expecting to get past them in this video, if I'm being honest. Simulate round. Hey, yo, we did it. Okay, we did it. Hey, man, let's do it, baby. 35 for Cat, 27 for Ant-Man, 26 and 5 for De'Aaron Fox. Maybe it's the type of player they need. A little more aggressive than a D'Lo, maybe. Okay, here we go. Memphis Grizzlies. Not expecting to get past them either, man. Simulate round. We ain't gonna get past them. Well, I took them to a 7-game series. I will say, if next season the Timberwolves take a Western Conference Finals to a Game 7, that is a very successful season for the team. That's a very successful season. So, what do you guys think? Should they look to trade D'Lo, or should they keep him? I don't know, man. It's like, I can see both sides of it. I realistically can, but that's all we got for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.